Happy Easter! Welcome to Archives of Fabella Daily, the only podcast that won't quit playing games with my heart. Today is April 4th, equal to Aries 15th. Books are available on Amazon. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes, or wherever you listen to your podcasts, and hit that subscribe button for more great stories right in your feed. April 4th, 1970 is the date the disposal of the remains of Adolf Hitler were carried out by the Soviet Union's military base in Magdeburg, East Germany. In the magical world of Fabella, a man's wild will set couples everywhere scrambling to produce an heir to a vast fortune. I'm Dylan Foley, and this is Archives of Fabella. Beyond our world, there is love. Beyond our world, there is war. Beyond our world, there is life. Beyond our world, there is Fabella. Aries 15th, 5970, FY, Fabella year, equal to April 4th. 1970 AD, Earth year. On Aries 15th, 5970, Norman Buck Rogers died. Norman Buck Rogers was the richest man in Fabella's history. Born into the prestigious Rogers family, he inherited a vast amount of wealth at the age of 30, thanks to the family's pixie dust empire. As CEO of Sprinkle Corp., Rogers expanded the company around the globe. Numerous investments over his lifetime in companies like Poof Magic Supplies and Castor Wands Incorporated brought him tremendous fame and fortune. But behind the gilded curtain, all was not well with the Rogers family. A series of unfortunate events destroyed the family line. By the time Norman Buck Rogers died, at the age of 105, he had no family left, and no heirs to inherit his vast wealth. Instead, Rogers, a notorious prankster, stipulated in his will that his fortune would be given to whichever couple gave birth to the most legitimate children in the 12 years after his passing. Attorneys for the Rogers estate confirmed that the will was legally binding. The rules of what was dubbed by the press as the Great Binky Boom were as follows. Rule number 1. All children had to be legitimate, meaning that the couple had to be married and no children produced by affairs should be counted. Rule number 2. All children had to be conceived and born within the 12-year time frame. From the second Norman Buck Rogers was pronounced dead. Rule number 3. Parents would submit birth certificates to the law firm, who then had to sign off and verify the births. Almost immediately there were problems. Firstly, a number of illegitimate heirs to the Rogers estate magically appeared to debate the validity of the will. A judge dismissed all their claims, and the Binky boom continued unabated. Secondly, several families attempted to game the system in order to win the competition. One such example was Darvin Bender, a slithtar who would seek out and marry wives who had a high chance of producing multiple offspring. As soon as the babies were born, Bender would divorce one wife and move immediately on to the next. The law offices of Scuber and Snarl investigation found that Bender finalized a divorce with one wife a minute after twins were born, and 30 minutes later was married in a quickie wedding ceremony where he and his new wife conceived another set of triplets. Aware that Bender was cheating at the competition, Scoober and Snarl took him to court. There, Bender's attorney explained that his actions weren't technically in violation of the rules, since there was nothing in the will explicitly saying that the children couldn't be born to multiple mothers. All of Bender's spouses knew about the deal and participated of their own free will. A judge ruled in Bender's favor, and he was allowed to continue. After Bender's case cleared the court, attempts were made by others to emulate Bender's example. Attorneys for Scoober and Snarl went back to court to request an amendment to the will that all children had to be born from one mother. The judge allowed the amendment, but only from the date of the court case forward, meaning all children born to multiple mothers previously were still allowed to be counted as part of the competition. Scoober and Snarl's attorneys spent the remaining years attempting to not only cancel the competition on the grounds that it was indecent, but also taking families to court to rule their children ineligible for the competition. Another case brought to court that gained a lot of public attention was the accusation made by 7 families that no less than 12 employees of Scoober and Snarl were also engaging in the competition. Contracts with employees of the law office proved that some of them were hired on the exclusive purpose of procreation, and that all children were wards of the law office. A judge ruled that this too was legal, since it didn't violate any of the rules. The end of the competition was a 5-way tie, with Bender, 3 associates of Scoober and Snarl, and 1 other family, all claiming 9 children as dependents. The competition reportedly had an adverse effect on families that didn't win, putting many of them in poverty. A large amount of children born during the competition were either orphaned or given up to adoption agencies. Norman Buck Rogers led a successful life, but he was always infamously remembered for his death and the great Binky boom. That's going to do it for us today. Tune in tomorrow for a story about a wife and mother who went to bed with a husband and woke up with someone else entirely. Subscribe now to get more new episodes right in your feed. Rate and review the podcast on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Send your questions to archivesofabella@gmail.com. Archives of Abella is created, produced, and hosted by Dylan Foley, with music by Garrett Ferris and audio blocks. Books are available on Amazon in ebook and paperback. As always, look outside of what is possible and think about what might be.